Pepe coin holders, we got a video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about Pepe because we're seeing Bitcoin and the crypto market get a little bit of a bounce here. But when you look at Bitcoin dominance, we're mainly just seeing Bitcoin rally and altcoins bleed. So what does that mean for Pepe? We're going to be talking about that. Welcome back to Crypto Report. I'm Blacksea. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel right now. Let's hop in this video. All right, guys. So we're going to look at Pepe. We're sitting here on a weekend. So we got some weekend price action that's pretty trappy, it seems like. I think this is probably going to be a trap here. We look at this. We're looking at the daily time frame. We're getting a little bit of a green, a little tiny green bounce here. After the past week was somewhat bearish. It was definitely bearish. We got rejected down from 4012, and I said when we broke this level, expect a touch of the bullish trend line here at a roughly, we almost wicked down and touched it back on the 5th of June around 4010. But then we got a little bit of a bounce to the upside. And you guys, if you saw on crypto Twitter, you can follow me at 333Blacksea. I was showing you guys, I was catching those knives and doing some 75x longs and was capitalizing on those moves. And I will say, guys, that I do think there's going to be a lot of trappy behavior here. So I am being very cautious right now. I think that we could be seeing a little bit of a bounce here. There's a good chance, like if I look at this, this does look somewhat like it's a bottom. But at the same time, guys, I do want to emphasize here that, like, if you see the pattern here, you can see, you get a wick to the downside, and you rally up, and you get a wick to the upside, and you come down. Well, so far, it looks like the relief is just starting. I really want to see us flip this level here at 4012 as support. But I will be honest, guys. I do think that June, July, August is probably going to be bearish and sluggish. I think that there's a chance that we come and test this level on this bullish trend line at about 4010.5, like 10. I'll just call it 10.5, right? 4010.5. I think that's an appropriate target to be looking at, especially based on what Q3 usually brings for crypto. Now, I will say there's always invalidations. My invalidation would be that by the end of June, we start to catch a nice bid on Bitcoin, like Bitcoin's testing 110K. If that happens, I'm going to say, all right, guys, like I'm expecting Q4 to get front ran in Q3. And I think that a lot of people are expecting Q4 to be a very bullish time frame. I expect that, but when everyone expects it, usually it either gets front ran, it's delayed, or the opposite happens. So keep that in mind. Usually, I don't want to say usually, but the market is designed to take the most money from the most amount of people as possible. And so you need to be keeping that in the back of your mind. So I am cautious here. I think there's a higher likelihood that we do break down and test this level at about, like I said, 10.5 on Pepe. But guys, right now, I'm looking for some scalps. I'm doing some scalping, but I'm not really going to be going degenerately long until probably we see confirmation of closures back above 4012, like getting back inside this channel. Like that is the range that I want to be trading. But guys, if you do want to take advantage of this volatility, check out in the description box below or pin comment down below. We have a $5,000 sign bonus to Blowfin. All you have to do is click that link, deposit, trade a little bit. You get a bunch of free money. They're always running some awesome promotions as well. If you trade, I keep forgetting how much amount of money it is, but if you trade like X amount, just trading volume. So if you trade with $100 and you take the trade out and you do another $100 trade, that's $200 in trading volume, right? After you do enough of that, you can get a Tesla Model 3, which is worth about 30 grand. So these exchanges want you to be using their platforms. When the market's hot, you should be taking advantage of this volatility, guys. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. That is not financial advice. I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing, and I put my money where my mouth is. It's as simple as that. So let's look at this market, right? Bitcoin's trading at 105,500, getting a little bit of a bounce here this weekend. But guys, what I really want to emphasize on here, at the beginning of the video, I said Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin's rallying while alts are kind of bleeding. You get Bitcoin dominance at 63.7%. When you exclude stablecoins, it's like 65, almost 66%. So, yeah, Bitcoin is only 5K off all-time highs, but the alts are still bleeding against Bitcoin. It's pretty incredible to see that. But I will say, Q4 2025, based on the 4-year cycle, guys, that's when we should be expecting the altcoin season. Now, will it be that simple? Probably not. But I think that you should be expecting some moves to the upside with altcoins leading into the end of 2025. Now, let's look at the monthly returns here, okay? So June tends to be a coin flip, right? July tends to be green, right? So that's why I'm saying there's a good chance that there's an invalidation. By the end of June, we're starting to rally into July. That being said, August tends to be quite bearish. Q3, guys. Q3 in total tends to be not very favorable for risk on assets and Bitcoin in general. So I am keeping a very close eye on that. And I do think that you look at Q4, and Q4 is when you should be expecting big moves, guys. Like if you look back at 2023, we saw September, October, November, December, all green. In big months, right? 28%, 8%, 12%. And you look back at 2020, 27%, 42%, 46% gain. Like Q4, I always remember, I've been in crypto for nearly a decade, guys. And when the winter comes, there's usually big green candles. I'm always prepared for it. So I'm paying close attention to that. All right, so Pepe sitting at rank 27. We're down about 1.43% the past 7 days. Getting a little bit of a rally here on the 24 hours, up 3.85%. And we're sitting at a $4.83 billion market cap, down a little bit here over the past couple weeks. We were like sitting above 5 billion, 5.2 billion for a while. But guys, all-time high this cycle was about 12 to 13 billion. And I do think that we can make our way back up there at some point here. So I'm telling you, I think there's a good opportunity here. I really do. Pepe is by far like my favorite meme coin. It's not like a flash in the pan, if you will, like some of these Solana memes. I think it actually has somewhat staying power because, guys, it has the most mind share out of any other meme coin on the planet, Pepe the Frog. All right, so where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin has tested all-time highs. We've broken down. People are calling for a double top. Is it possible? Yeah, sure. Do I think that it's probable that this is a double top? No, I don't. I think that there's a chance that the bottom was in at about 100K. And I also think that if worst case scenario here in Q3, we could come down and test 94,000. And when that happens, obviously, if that happens, obviously altcoins, Pepe, are going to get hurt. But I still think that this will make everyone think it's over, and we can start to make a larger move to the upside, making that 150, 130,000 price level for Bitcoin. If that happens, you should be expecting Pepe to make a nice large move. Now, guys, if you stuck around this far, I do want to say thank you so much. On Crypto Twitter, I just reached 9,000 followers. Go follow me, 333 Black Sea. I tell you guys, especially on Crypto Twitter, I want to bring you guys alpha, signal, and most importantly, some laughs. I like to clown around on Twitter sometimes. But thanks, guys. It means a lot. I really like to provide this info to you guys about these markets and have some fun while we're doing it. But, guys, if you like some content, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel right now. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think Pepe is heating up? Are we going in for that summer lull like we saw back in 2021? Or is this actually the time to be bidding? I'm very curious on what you have to say about that. Personally, right now, I'm looking for high leverage scalping opportunities on Pepe using Blowfin, and I'm really just dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. That's all I got, guys. If you like some content, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel right now. I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.